Hello everybody! It is the first stream today. It is a Sunday, end of the month, and of course we will have some good games of League of Legends today. First we will see two games in Division 4, Fenrir versus Permitta, and then after those two games we have a short break, and then after the short break at I think 5 o'clock we will see Foxnyr's main team against the Weizen. And of course, I'm not alone here today. Poro with Cookie, as you can see already on the side, is with me today as well.
Yeah, thank you for the invite. Pleasure to be here. And I saw you chose a nice picture there with that cookie you put in. Like, it's from Cookie Clicker or not? Am I stupid? No.
I don't know, it's just a random cookie picture I had saved up. So,
looks like one. Wait, I have to Google that.
You have to Google it real quick. The important things have to be done now. Of course.
It's exactly that.
Is it exactly that? Yeah, perfect.
It looks like it.
Looks like it. Perfect. So, we already see the side selection, which will be a red side for Permitta. So, you know, if my math is mathing correctly, that means we will be on blue side. Is this correct, Mr. Poro?
I think your math is mathing indeed, and it looks like we will have an enjoyable blue side game, yes.
Hell yeah. Of course. Looks like they have no cast, right? Do they have a cast?
I don't think so. I mean, like, that's understandable. Like, you already have Foxnyr casting. Of course, here you have Alisrem always inviting chat people as well to assist him. You don't need to get a second cast, right? It's just like it's free content they have here. Obviously, we welcome every Permitta supporter as well here, even though we are a bit biased for Foxnyr. You're all welcome to watch the games here.
Perfect. So yeah. Our own people say they do not want the enemies to... we have 3-main delay. Three-main delay. No pause, easy. They are literally scared of them ghosting. Just don't pause for forever, and you're Gucci, lol. Yeah. Get me out. I see. Yeah, the lobby is amazing. The lobby is amazing already. Hello, coffee lover. Hello, fett und doof. Amazing name, by the way. Just in case somebody is watching, the guy in chat is literally called Fett und Doof. I'm not, you know, I'm just reading names. I'm not saying anything. So yeah, Mr. Poro, I heard you are playing some competitive yourself. Now, do you still think the Skarner is the best monster pick of Doom of Destruction, or do you think the Skarner priority is slowly fading away?
Is he the power pick of Doom of Destruction? I mean, I can't tell really. Like, Skarner is a champion that got nerfed, if you remember, like 5 or 6 times in a row by now. Like, he got reworked and then nerfed literally every patch.
Yeah.
And he has still been super broken. I think with this nerf, this time, like, they're nerfing his laning quite well. I just feel like his kit still remains broken. So, I'm not saying that Skarner is an unfair champion to play against if you compare him to a K'Sante on release. Like,
yeah.
But that was something else. Because, like, K'Sante has kit problems that go way beyond those that Skarner has. But I don't think there are comparable champions in the current meta to Skarner. On the same, like, I don't think anything else is stronger than Skarner. So I would still like to see some priority on that pick.
Okay, and talking about it, we will see again the draft here. Foxnyr, Fenrir on blue side, Permitta Esports on red side. It's actually a Swiss orc versus a Swiss orc, so, you know, little Swiss derby there. with 2 Swiss casters as well. That's amazing. And we're talking English, of course. That's just, you know, some French people maybe of the French-speaking part. Who knows? So. Either way, the first bans will go through rapidly. I love it. Both teams are prepared. And that means the first pick is all ready to be seen. And it's not going to be the Foxnyr. Instead, it's the Wei Poro. I mean, you're a Wei enjoyer yourself. Do you agree with this?
I think, like, Wei is a champion you can lock in pretty early because it's a mage, right? And mages are generally always fine during the laning phase. I don't think it's a power pick though, so it's just a comfort pick. If you look at Barcode's match history, his most played champion, you can see it's his Wei. He just wants to secure it here, so the enemies can't take it away. Orianna gets answered as well, which is like technically a pretty even matchup. It's not really something you should be scared of.
Okay, and the Zeri as well. I think it's getting interesting. Again, we just talked about the Foxnyr. Nobody picking up a top laner or a jungler or anything yet. Usually we see those champions quite early, and now we already see the mid lane matchup. I mean, yeah, or Orianna on bot lane exists and Wei on bot lane exists, but I don't think we will be seeing that, right? So what else would you like in this draft, Cesco?
I mean, until now, with all those picks that have been made, all I'm seeing is that both teams are putting more, weight on comfort picks than meta picks. Obviously, Orianna is still in a good state, Wei is in a good state, Zeri as well, but the Foxnyr is being left out. Tristana, a really strong mid lane pick as well, is being left out at the moment. See as well, the Volibear now being picked up, not one of the best jungler, but if you play him good, it's nice, and you have the flex pick here as well. So the enemies can't really know or don't know how to answer that.
Okay, and the Thresh will be picked. You said it, Volibear still kind of a flex, so it could be jungler, it could be top laner. Maybe hovering Xin was a sneaky little play to kinda tell the opponents, hey, it is our jungler, and actually you kinda plan to put him on top lane. But yeah, either way, the Blitzcrank as a response to the Thresh. Now, do you think we will see certain ADC bans here that we do not want to see on Fenrir's side?
I'm thinking if, like, that Permitta respects Ezreal, just because it's really annoying for Blitzcrank to lane against it. But yeah, exactly, there's the Ezreal ban. I don't really think that the ADC will be like, there are a lot of ADCs that you can play here, especially with Thresh. You always have that certain safety. It's just you want to have something that you can catch off guard. Catching an Ezreal off guard can be really hard. Maybe as well a severe ban could be something that they think of here. Even though I don't really like the champion in the meta, it's something that you feel good picking into a Blitzcrank.
Okay, and we ourselves are banning the Aatrox. Okay, Caitlyn ban. Yeah, that is also a usually lane dominant bot lane champion, and I think it pairs quite well with the Thresh, so interesting choices. We are still banning out, or like thinning out even, the top lane pool for Permitta. And of course Permitta, they already picked their bot lane, so they want to target our ADC options. I think all the bans so far make a lot of sense. And yeah, Aatrox, Renekton, two really dominant and like early lane dominant champions picked on top lane. What do you think is the plan now for those two teams with those bans?
I mean, you can see that, like, Foxnyr now banning the top laners. They know, okay, if the enemy team wants to, and they should, they will last pick their top laner. So we like get two options out. We already have something planned in mind, and then we pick it. Now we see the Foxnyr hover, it gets locked in. We still don't know if it's jungle or on the top lane. It's still viable on both those roles. And now it's up to Fenrir to decide, okay, do we have something that we can put into the top lane and the jungle as well? That's good against Foxnyr. Like, good luck finding that, or how do we answer that?
I mean, the Rumble is also getting ignored. Let's be honest, I think Rumble is insane right now. Do you agree, by the way? Also, because it is flexible in so many ways and it's just a power pick, or do you think Rumble is not a good answer here?
I haven't seen a lot of Rumble yet in the division I play in, to be fair. I think the champion can be really good, especially because it can be flexed amongst like 4 roles. You can play mid lane, top lane, jungle, and support, and it just provides a lot of damage as well. So it would have been an option here. Foxnyr decides to go with the Ornn. They say, okay, we picked the Draven fresh lane here. We're going all in basically on this bot lane. We want this Volibear to come to the bot lane, a really good early game jungler. And yeah, like for our top lane, we just need an Ornn. Just be there, scale, upgrade my item, and we'll do the rest.
Exactly. So with the Cyan hover, and will it get locked? Yes, it will get locked. Okay. First of all, talking about Rumble a little bit, I see it in pro play like LEC, LCK, and all that stuff quite a lot, and I think I see it mostly as an answer to the Skarner right now on lane, of course. So I see Poro has a little headset disconnect right now. So
yes, I think it works again now.
It works again.
Difficulties here. Yes,
exactly.
You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I just talked about how I saw a lot of Rumble in pro play against the Skarner, so I thought maybe we want to lean into that. But again, as you said, Chesko, a lot of comfort here, a lot of stuff that we just know and love. And yeah, also interesting, we would have had the option to put like Volibear, Skarner on top, and then we would have like those two powerhouses. But nope, it will be Skarner and Volibear in the jungle. And I mean, you are the Cyan connoisseur here, but I mean, Ornn Cyan, will anything happen there? Not really, right?
I don't like the matchup of Cyan, by the way. I think Ornn can destroy you like really hard in the early game, especially. Because if the Ornn plays it correctly, you have to think about that. Cyan is only good if he can charge his Q. And Ornn just has so many tools to deny that. That like early trading is really hard. But honestly, the game won't be decided. Even if the zone goes 3-0, it's not gonna matter. You look at bot lane, you see Draven fresh, you see like the Cyan as well. It's not gonna 1v9 against especially a Hui here or a Volibear. It's more about how will bot lane play out, who...
is he gone again? I think he's gone again. Good old headset struggles, but hey, we're just chilling here. Yeah, top lane, we heard it, is a good matchup for us, even though we kind of got the counter pick, right?
Wait, you can hear me now, right? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you now, yeah.
Sorry for the technical difficulties. I was saying like top lane won't matter, right?
Yeah, exactly. We said even though, do you think you would have liked something else better, or do you think in the grand scheme of things, Cyan is still just a fine pick and it works and stuff like that, or do you think it's that a little draft misplay here to go for the Cyan?
Honestly, I would have liked if they just put the Skarner top lane and went for something that can match the Volibear better in the early game. I feel like whenever Volibear meets the Skarner, this Volibear will just outtrade him straight up. He's stronger in the early game, and it's more like Skarner has to avoid the Volibear in skirmishes.
I see. Okay, interesting. And now, you already said mid lane is kind of even, comfort pick for both, early pick, but yeah, bot lane of course will be the interesting part here in this game, right?
And as well, what I don't really like about Permitta draft is that, in my opinion, if you pick Orianna, of course this champion can still land good shockwaves on its own, but you don't really have anything that like delivers the ball to the enemy team besides the Cyan ultimate, which will just be blocked by the Ornn if it's played correctly, right? Ornn stays in front, Cyan can reach, and then it's really hard as well to like get onto this wave, because in the mid game, in the later game of later stages of the game, a Hui will have more range than you. And Draven, like if you go into the Draven range, he will probably just kill you with 2 auto attacks. It can be really rough.
Exactly. Now, who is Lucky You, by the way, in chat? Do you know him or?
Lucky You?
Wait, yes, Lucky ULM. He told me to ask you about the Arnold meme. I don't know if that's an insider or.
Ask me about the Ornn ult meme.
No, Arnold.
Arnold.
Yes.
No, but not me. Ask Forces about Arnold meme. That's a player.
Forces. I literally thought he meant like Chisco. You know, like chess. It's like Chesco. That's like I see how it is. So I am in the loading screen, and of course we want to jump in a game soon. Actually, have to swap the sides and everything to get everything done and ready. But yeah, if you have to choose a winner so far, of course, winner in our hearts are always the Foxnyr guys. But you know, looking at the draft and all the stuff we talked about, do you think is there already a winner, or is it even draft-wise?
I'd say we have Mr. Oregano on his Thresh, we have Lefton on his Draven, and we have a Wave pick, which is one of my favorite champions, and I think I like it more than Oriana. I'm choosing Foxnyr's side here.
Perfect. And with those words, guys, we are jumping into the game. I have to, you know, speed it up a little bit until we are live, of course. So there we are. 1 minute 30. We are in the game. Permitta on red side, Foxnyr Fenrir on blue side. And as you can see, the top lane already in full action, bot lane in full action, and also mid lane. Not too much happening, but we have to respect the ball. And both junglers starting on a top side. And I want to talk about this ward here a little bit, Chesco.
I mean, yeah, that's just a really good ward you can place early. I think it was placed from the jungler even, so the way it still has his ward, as you can see. It's just you want to track, okay, what is Foxnyr doing? Is he like pathing from the top lane to the bot lane, which he should do? Is he going for a transition gank? Or like, yeah, just getting general information about the enemy jungler.
Yeah. Oh, and I mean, and also the same ward on the bot side that just expired. But yeah, basically we have full information on the Foxnyr so far. Now, am I a big fan of the Grasp here, by the way? I think that's quite an interesting pick for a jungler. Did I miss something? I usually only see it on lanes.
I am not gonna lie, I was thinking the same. Thing is, I don't play Foxnyr in the jungle, so like what else do you want to play? Like Aftershock could be an option, but I don't know if it's like
Face Rush maybe? Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus, the Foxnyr, you talked about it, and Darky has to flash away early. Top lane gets the first blood even! Foxnyr, we are not even playing any games here. We are straight up crushing Permitta on multiple lanes right now. What?
And here, exactly, like it's beautiful. It's just as I anticipated that it could go if both teams know their strength. Like, first of all, you see that Oren is really strong against the Sion. So Volibear has to be aware of that.
Qmaru might be in trouble. Will get hooked here. Flashes away. The Foxnyr is already on his path to the top side, though. And fresh there, Mr. Oregano helping out really, really well. I love to see it, though. Maybe it was a little bit of an overstep here. But hey, we got the camp now in mid lane. Nitro, no mana, but with the passive, still a very, very scary duelist with just the auto attacks in the early game, right, Chesco?
And it got buffed. You have 480 more now on Oriana, if I remember correctly.
That is something, yeah.
Let's talk more about this rotation, by the way.
No. We talk about Elias on top lane. He has no flash. The decimating smash will make him walk the other way. He might be able to get out here. That would be nothing short of a miracle. And nope, he cannot get out. And I hate to say it, but I think this one hurts a little bit because he does not have TP up.
And this all comes down to what happened early, by the way. The thing is, you have the Volibear who can invade you early, as we saw. He's just stronger than you. Foxy knows that, goes for this invade, and the enemy bot lane at this point has to be really scared. We see the Foxnyr had to go topside, and what this means is that bot lane is under a lot of threat to get dove by this Volibear in the early game. By chunking him out though, on the blue buff there, they were able to catch this wave now, so from a bot lane state, we are fine, and the Orange just didn't respect that Foxnyr's only play is to do the same on the top side of the map, and well, died for that little sin.
To be honest, I think if you play against Foxnyr jungler, where are you even safe? Every other jungler could not have ganked him because there is a big wall in the way. But hey, Foxnyr, I mean, okay, and Kayn, but Kayn does not have the early game CC nor the damage. But yeah, either way, yes, Elias paid for the sins. But I think he should still be super fine. The items are completely mirrored at this point. I mean, minus some other stuff like the cookie, stuff like that. But who cares about that, right? And really important, the dragon did get taken here. Chemtech dragon, we take it, right? Starting the dragon stacking. The void crops are not even up yet, though. So that's a big W for Fenrir there.
Yeah, and they're putting a lot of pressure as well onto the enemies by starting to stack those dragons really early into the game. The dragon will respawn earlier, they can start to take the next one as well, and just go for this soul win condition in this game.
Okay, top lane. Both top laners are low again. Level 6 earlier on the Sion. And of course, that opportunity will be taken. It will not be too successful though. I'm still a bit worried now because yes, Mahatma Dhani did not get the kill. But look how low Elias is and Skarner is on top lane again.
Yeah, and now you have to be like really scared about this dive. But let's like, that's the thing. Like, even if the Skarner goes for this top lane dive, I think Ornn will just be fine if he gets most of the wave, because it's not gonna matter. If this Sion gets ahead or not, I don't think it's gonna make a difference. Well, you see here, Ornn just has more items than the Sion on lane because of his passive right now. So even if he would not reset there, he would just be fine in a 1 versus 1. Decides to go back here, respect the Skarner, has a good timer here since the Ken wave has arrived and Sion needs longer to push that into the enemy tower. But yeah, it's really all about these stacks that Draven is building up now on the bot side of the map, and who gets their first kill there, basically.
Yeah, true. We have not really seen too much action on bot lane, but those passive stacks, man, you are mentioning it perfectly. I want to have a quick look, of course. Gonna check the Draven. He is on 180 stacks already. And I feel like... Okay, Chesko, run us through the options here. Both junglers are top lane, but what happens if BBMA just lands a hook here? Oh, never mind. The fight is already kind of going strong. And we get the execute with the Whirling Death. What an amazing play from Mr. Oregano. Setting up the Draven left on, getting the first blood on this bot lane. Really well played.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, we can go for a dive, for example, and execute the enemy with this Draven ultimate. But Oregano was like, no, I don't need my Volibear. Just watch me hit this hook, and let's kill this Blitzcrank.
Perfect stuff there. Yeah, I was always, you know, in this lane, I always feel like, okay, what happens if Blitzcrank hits a hook onto left on? Because he still has flash, he still has his barrier. And yeah, no summoners used at all from anybody on bot lane. So this means, I think it just stays interesting. But man, with two big swords in the inventory, look how much damage Left on deals with his auto attacks, man.
Yeah, and I mean, in the end, on bot lane, even if Blitzcrank hits a hook by now, I think Draven will just straight up win every fight, maybe even 1 versus 2, just because the Zeri is running cleanse and he has the barrier. So we have like one combat summoner more on the bot lane. I don't really consider the cleanse to be a offensive combat summoner, it's more like a defensive one. If you get hooked, you have one get free out of jail card, basically.
Yeah, now mid lane, the Sky Splitter looked like we want to do something there, but we did respect the Skarner. Meanwhile, on top lane, man, Mahatma Dhani, he wants to do something, and yeah, he is playing that. Oh my god, look at BBMA hitting the hook here to get Mr. Oregano off his carry. That is also some way to peel your carry, that is for sure. And I'm actually not really certain what are we looking for right now. Like, Volibear is on bot lane, but we still have a minute until Dragon, so yeah. Oh, that hook might be dangerous. The Flado, we just turn it around. Oh my god, is this such a potential power play for us? Getting another kill onto left on. Everything that just happened there, it went by so quickly, but it looked so good at first for Permitta, but Mr. Oregano, he's just so good on the freshman, and also Kiyomaru was ready.
Yup, and now you can see everyone knows, okay, this dragon is coming up, let's all reset together. We have the wave crashed in, we get onto the map together, as well mid lane is channeling his recall to be matched with his teammates, and it looks like this dragon will be one of Foxnyr's big desires in the next minutes.
15 seconds for the Dragon. No full item on Draven yet. Chesko, do you think it is something like worth considering that Draven does not have boots and Seri has tier 2 boots already, or should that not really matter?
I don't think it matters because Draven doesn't really need those boots. It's like if Zamira doesn't have boots early, she really just needs the 80, and it's kind of the same for Draven. You're just buying a lot of 80, he will like kill people with 3 auto attacks. What is important though, we have the Sign rotating to the mid lane. This could make a fight more.
Oh no! What? That steal! Thanks for the leash. Kiyomaru gets the second Dragon. Sorry for interrupting you there, but what the hell just happened? But keep on talking.
This is a disaster now for Permitta Esports. I was gonna say, like, they're dropping a lot of plates top lanes, yes, top lane, for this rotation from Sign. Like, the Sign who was still very good in lane is now perfectly even with the Zorn, basically. And if you look as well at the gold lead, the Ornn is slightly ahead now in gold, and on bot lane we already have a 1.3k lead.
Oh, Elias will not really connect there, but does it matter? He gets the solo bolo on top lane now. Meanwhile, in the bot side river, Barcode has to run towards his team to make sure to not die. But man, yeah, as you said, Elias got the wave into a good state on top lane and got the kill off of that. Really well played by Fenrir.
Yep, and now, not that it matters a lot, but this Ornn, despite being like weak-sided really hard in the early game and Skarner being top-side a lot, is now ahead in gold. And on top of that, the bot lane plan perfectly worked out for Foxnyr. We have the Draven with 5.4k.
Oh, mid lane. This is a lot of burst damage. Can Barcode get out of there? The Spiraling Despair connects, but no, nothing to be found there. I'm a bit surprised how much damage Nitro still took, but of course it was not enough to kill him. And this means with the 6 Void Grubs, by the way. So, you know, a little bit of credit where credit is due for Dockery there, and of course the entirety of Permitta. They did get the Void Kevins to spawn now.
Yup. Again, they don't really have a split pusher, so it's not the worst for Foxnyr to face. But this mid lane kill actually impacted the mid lane a lot, I think. Like, you see now, the Orianna is 1k gold ahead, and like will be a lot stronger than this way in the lane. The only issue I have is to say, and you know, I'm a mid laner, and that's why I don't like using my flash like this. Put yourself in those shoes from Orianna. You just used your flash aggressively to get a kill. Of course, it's worth if you don't die now, but against this Volibear, against the way, you're likely to get camped now, and that can be dangerous. So you see already the Scar and the Blitzcrank are providing the vision necessary so that this Orianna can use this lead, but it will be hard.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Barcode had to flash a bit earlier because PPMA was threatening him. Oh my god, left on in the 1v2. Fresh almost there. Throwing the lantern, getting a good hook there, jumping over there. Left on has to watch out because of the Orianna though. Meanwhile, on top lane also a lot of action going down. Darkry also on top lane, so it's Elias against 2 people. Flashing away. Cyan flashing after. So close not getting the kill, but meanwhile, bot lane action continues. We get a kill over there. The stat line is 6-3 right now, and I don't even know what happened on bot lane. Meanwhile, maybe Poro saw a bit more.
Yeah, it was basically what I was about to, or what I was saying before. Orianna didn't have flash. Went to the skirmish. The skirmish didn't go well. Skarner was topside. Was maybe not the right decision as well to fight it there, since the Permitta had no information about Volibear. And without this flash, there's no escaping from this huge bear just running you down.
Exactly. And important to note though, Kiyomaru still has the Stormbringer up. So didn't even have to press or... So overall, I feel like, yes, on top lane, Elias died, but we don't really care too much about that, right?
No, I think it's completely fine. Again, he's an Ornn, he will do his job. And this kill will have like no impact. The only thing you could say is that he lost his top lane tower. That's the thing that's important.
Okay, now he might lose his life again because there is basically everybody on the top lane. The Impale will get used. We want to get a kill onto the Zeri, of course, and Elias, he cannot really deny the inevitable. But more importantly, Dragon up in 30 seconds, and Elias, he will be a bit late to that party, that's for sure. Mid lane turret looking kinda dead to me though, and that is something great. I feel like that is probably even worth it for us.
100% worth for Foxnyr. I feel so bad for Elias because like I used to, or like, do you know this feeling? You're playing a game, like you're getting casted by us now in this case, and then people are like thinking, wow, he died 3 times now in a row basically, and that's so bad. But in the end, it's actually worth it. Foxnyr used his ultimate, so he doesn't have it up for this dragon fight. You opened the map completely by taking the T1 mid lane, which is more valuable than a T2 on the side lane, especially on the Science, since we don't really care about him. And yeah, so this death just was, how Baus would say it, a good death and worth for us, basically.
Yeah, I see. Of course, we cannot have a game with Cyan in it without mentioning the Cyan player himself. And yeah, as you said though, even though it is 3 deaths, not the worst in the world to die like this, getting the mid lane turret, getting a soul point as well. I mean, I honestly think this soul is not like game ending or anything, but still it puts Fenrir in a like even stronger position than they are right now. Like, as soon as Lefton hits his second item, and Barcode hits the second item as well, they are like so dangerous. They deal so much damage.
Yeah, but to be honest, I do think that this soul would be the end for Permitta Esports in this game,
really?
Particularly.
Oh, interesting.
I think Cloud Soul is really broken. You're looking onto the way now. I think he has just to use his flag defensively. Yeah, respect it. Doesn't try to like do a massive outplay there. Again, all the tempo used on the bot side, we get the full top side control, find the Foxnyr alone. Well played by Foxnyr, free kill, we take it.
Well played indeed, Darkry. I think it's a little the theme of the game though. Like, one play happens on one side of the map and then it's like both teams don't really respect the pressure that should be coming on the other side of the map. Oh no, that is a flash hook. It connects. Can we get the lantern? We did get the lantern. Will Barcode burn down? If not, then this is just beautiful. Zeri trying to maybe, just maybe get a revenge kill, but no shot. And meanwhile, Lefton is doing God's work on top lane together with his jungler.
And I don't even think they get the mid lane T1 here. We have the way. Keep is still available. If they get the mid lane T1, obviously it's worth for Permitta Esports. But it looks like it will be defended.
Looks pretty hard to defend. Yeah. Mr. Oregano dropping quite low there, getting hooked in, but with the flash he might be able to get out there. Now Q Maru is joining the fight. Elias is joining the fight. We have to run away from the zombie passive form here. Skarner Darkry has to flash away as well. BBMA, he will not get out of this one. Getting bonked by Elias here. The Bellows Breath will finish the job. This is 9-4, and we slowly but surely have to also talk about the dragon because it is going to spawn in 2 minutes. And Poro, you said it would be the end for Permitta. Why is that?
I just think that the Cloud Soul is so underrated. Having more movement speed on the map when already being ahead will always, like, it will be so much easier to out-tempo your enemies, basically. And as you can see, I think Permitta is grouping a bit too much in this game. They're like having trouble finding plays if they're not together. And against the Cloud Soul, this will be even harder. Because they will just lose their entire base if they go for a 4-man on bot side, for example.
Ah, I see. Interesting thought process. You're like, we are winning the fights anyways because we are ahead, so might as well have a soul that does not just help us fighting, but helps us rotating around the map and get those advantageous fights even faster. Now, looking at the setup, we have one more minute. Never mind, we will have a fight. That is more important. Red team has summoned the Rift Herald, and Ornn TPing might be in range for his ultimate soon. Who will die first? We are fighting around the stroke point. Zeri super low, Kiyomaru flashing after her, getting the kill there. Darkry will be the next one to fall. It is just looking absolutely amazing. And yeah, Mahatma Dhani on the Sion. I'm not too sure why Permitta took this engage there.
I mean, basically, they maybe thought about the same. They saw that they had the 2-item power spike on the Zeri now. It could be a fight they can win, basically. Like, if Draven, for example, mispositions, you get a good catch on him, then you can win a fight. But if you compare, like, if you press X to look at the goals, yeah, exactly, like, you see the Draven is just up one completed item after his next reset, and he's already so much more up because his items are so much more expensive than Zeri's. And we said in the earlier when the game started, the gold lead on those two will be the one that decides this game.
Exactly, and this is penetration already. It's not lethality anymore or stuff like that. It's just straight up a percent armor pen, and I think this is really good. Now, we took the Nash, we took the one fight, and we did trade the dragon away for it, but I think that is something that we are willing to take, because now we still have a few minutes to use this Nasher and get some damage done.
Yup, and I like that they just said, okay, let's take the Nasher, let's go for these towers, because like they could have as well reset and went for the dragon, but by taking the Nash, they're putting a lot more tempo into this game. And the Sion now has to be careful. The Draven damage is just too much for him. He will burn down.
The shockwave though, the hook though, really good. Mr. Oregano a little bit out of position and will likely die there. Wei was not here, Barcode is not here, but it doesn't even matter. Lefton can just walk forward because the Stormbringer will disable the turret. Even BBMA flashes away defensively. It does not matter. Look at this team. They just know what they are doing and what they want to do. The communication is on point. And honestly, Mr. Poto, this looks kinda over at this point.
Yeah, I was about to say as well, like this Draven is not only an item up on everyone from the enemy team, he's an Ornn item up on everyone from the enemy team. So even getting those bonus stats, he just two-shot the Zeri, if I'm not mistaken. One auto attack did about like 3/4 of her HP and then just want to finish her off. Going reset again, spending that gold, and I think now going for the final push.
The final push, you are calling it. Mid lane inhibitor is down. Now, what is the correct macro decision here to just maybe get a catch here on Permitta's side? Like, they have one option, one misplay to hope for. What would that be?
I mean, they're already too late for that. They would have had to go into the bot lane and choose one bush, basically. For example, that one where Blitzcrank is in. And be there as 5, though, not alone.
Well,
otherwise...
yeah, bye BBMA, okay, yeah.
Otherwise, this just happens, and it's Foxnyr catching someone and not the other way around. Playing the slow game is not the option here, I feel like.
You said catching someone. What if we just catch 2 people and then the tanky ones as well? Now, Nitro is pushing in on top lane. Yes, some CS will be lost there, but Nitro realizes I have to go base, because if I don't, then we might just lose the game here. And of course, a single top lane turret is not worth losing the game for. We see a lot of people going for that trade sometimes, but still, what can you do here? Ornn ultimate will get blown. Elias going in. Hook connecting onto BBMA. A really good shockwave. Will it be enough to look at Lefton? He is uncontested on the side. He's auto-attacking. He is getting the kill. Meanwhile, Barcode found the kill on the Blitzcrank. And this has to be game, everybody. It is, of course, Mahatma Dhani and Forces and Nitro as well. They are trying to somehow defend this base, but it will almost be, it will certainly be an impossible task. One more kill, another kill. Elias looking to backport, but you can't just teleport onto a minion again Well, Mahatma Gandhi, even though he's dead, still does some stuff. Hook will connect, but it doesn't matter. It's only Blitzcrank alone against the world. And slowly but surely, the Nexus is getting whittled down. And guys, don't throw it, just finish the game. This is exactly what they are doing. And this is game number 1. GG's. Foxnyr taking the lead in this best of 2.
A clean execution from start to finish. They had their plan, they pathed into the bot lane, got the Draven ahead, and always played around it in a really nice way. It was really enjoyable to see that, honestly.
Okay, now we have 2 perspectives to quickly talk about. One question is, okay, do we just play the same song again in Foxnyr's side? Or do we like change something up? You know, let's talk about this real quick. If you think like if there was something that they misplayed, maybe I don't know, leaving the Skarner open, even though it didn't really matter at this point, or like, do you think there was one mistake that they should try to avoid, or can they literally play the exact same?
I mean, I don't think there was game plan choices that were wrong, honestly. Obviously, like, you can always do stuff better, execution-wise. For example, this Volibear should not be alone on this enemy Grump when the bot lane is rotating. Like, if Thresh stays with him, they just kill the Zeri and the Blitzcrank. 2 versus 2, right? But honestly, I think what they planned was really nice, and they should stick to their plans, basically. If they can do that again, then go for it. Okay.
We will be back in like 5 minutes, and we will see if Permitta somehow can bring it back after, let's face it, being kind of destroyed here. You know, we have to name it how it is, but of course, once you fall behind, it is kind of easy to then just die over and over again. I liked how they tried to find some kills on top lane at least, and then maybe bring the lead to the team, but it was simply not enough. Foxnyr, Fenrir, they just ran away with the game. So yeah, we will see in a few minutes in the next draft if maybe the sides swap, if some picks swap, or if we will see the same song again. You don't want to miss it. See you in a few minutes. Hello everybody, we are back and the players seem to be more or less ready. I know for a fact that Poro and me, we are also ready. And you know, Poro, after a game like this, I feel like you are also pretty much ready either way, because again, we talked about it, you do not really have to change anything up, so might as well take the same game plan, or hey, who knows, maybe just try to style on them with something completely different. What do you think?
I think it's interesting that Foxnyr chose to go red side this game, considering their blue side game just went so well, basically. But honestly, I kind of like the idea, because even though they didn't really get counter picks, they just managed to perform so much better on lane, in my opinion. Obviously, Sign kind of counter picked himself in the lane
that was
like, that's what I said. But
yeah.
Now you get the option to as well say, well, I'm gonna counter pick you now. So if you pick that Sign again, I will pick something even more dominant than an Ornn, and then it gets scary for the enemy top laner.
Exactly. Now talking about things getting scary, perfect introduction. What will we see? Of course, I took the wrong slide there, so you know, let's do that again. Yeah, not really used to be fair, Poro does have a webcam. We can see him chilling in the sleigh with the cookie. So now wait, which Poro on the picture are you, by the way? There are like 4 Poros or something on that one. Which one are you?
I'm the big one, honestly, with this really nice hat. But it changes every time, like it changes, you know? Like I transform every 2 or 3 months. I'm a different Poro, but today I'm this one.
Oh man. You just take off the hat and then take on like another something onto your head and you're like, I'm a different person now. I'm a different Poro. And oh lord, now that is something that I did not expect at all. How good is the LeBlanc right now?
It was something that was banned in the first game, if you remember, right?
Yes.
I don't remember who banned it though. I think it was Permitta Esports though, because they were red side. LeBlanc is something that has been getting better over all those last patches, but nobody really noticed it. And now Electrocute, if you know, I don't know if you read it, but got buffed again, so it does more damage in the early game and has less cooldown, which is also really good for LeBlanc. I think this champion is solid and like pretty strong in the right hands. Still very mechanical. You have to be really good on the champion. It's not like an Orianna that if Orianna is meta, basically everyone can play her, because she doesn't require you to have like really good knowledge of her mechanics. But if Nitro is confident on the champion, like he's first taking it here, it will be interesting. Sure.
Interesting indeed. Yeah, I already see the blue side one LeBlanc with 1 or 2 question marks. Fragezeichen sind keine Rudeltiere, Mr. Broadsart. Yeah, the Vex... Excuse me?
There you have one good LeBlanc player, Broadsart, he's LeBlanc, or he used to be a LeBlanc main, if I'm not incorrect. But he's playing it wrong. You know, he plays Airy and Comet. I don't know why he does it, right, Mark? Maybe with Electrocute the champion is better. He's questioning the V1 now, but maybe he will get surprised here. As well, Lee Sin is a really nice pairing. I like it. Obviously, the Vex matchup can be tough, because every time you dash, Vex just automatically outtrades you, basically. But, yeah.
We will see. Now, wait, you talked about the Lee Sin. You mean Maokai, or am I tripping right now? Because
they were hovering Lee Sin really long and they baited me. Like, that's the rule number 1, right? You can talk about others. I strongly disagree with Maokai, by the way.
Yeah, I was also honestly, I was also pretty sure that it could be Lee Sin, but I did something like some production work in the background. So you know, I saw the Lee Sin and I tapped out quickly, tapped back in, and there it was Maokai, and I thought they probably picked the Lee Sin because again, it would make a lot of sense, right? Even against the Volibear and the Vex. You have disengage with the Dragon's Kick, Dragon's Rage, and yeah, I would have liked it more. To be fair, Maokai is also pretty decent at disengaging. Now, talking about Fenrir's draft a little bit, they have the Volibear again. I think that's really nice. They have Draven again. I think that's really nice. And they are going for the Vex, as we said, as kind of a counter pick in the mid lane. Now, do you still agree with the Draven pick, or do you think it's a bit too much fun now with the Draven?
I think the Draven pick is perfectly fine here. You already have the Volibear. You know this champion can do a lot of early game skirmishing, and just pairing it with another champion that likes early game skirmishing is really solid. I think there's no issue in that as well. You see that Furious already. I don't think it's a counter matchup, honestly. I don't know like what pro ADCs would say here, but I think it's just it's fine for both sides basically.
I think it's also something in the lines of it just worked. You're warm on it, and you're also really confident on it, right? Maybe you disagree here, but I feel like if you just won a game on a champion and you're playing against the same enemy again, you could argue now, okay, the enemy already saw it and the opponent already like knows what you're doing with the pick, but I feel like you also get so much comfort and so much, you start believing in yourself, you know what I mean, right, with the pick. So what do you think about that philosophy, about like picking something again?
I'm a big fan of picking stuff again that works out, because if you have already played a comp that's very similar, basically, and even though the enemy saw it and maybe they saw flaws that they can abuse, you probably saw them as well. Like, you're not going out of the game after victory and saying, okay, everything was perfect, but you're more like, okay, hey, this was very nice, we can do it again. Just those 2 or 3 things, I think we have to do different. You go in with the same game plan, you adapt to those situations that you didn't like in the first game, and then it's just gonna work again, in my opinion.
I love
because,
your analysis there, yeah.
Like, to add something, if you play the teamfight comp, for example, then you say, okay, now the enemy knows to play the teamfight comp, let's play a poke comp now, for example. You whole game plan shift, and I'm not sure if teams are able to pull off every type of team composition on a similar level.
Completely agree there, yeah. Now, with that in mind, really interesting angle to think about it. With that in mind, Volibear is not in the jungle anymore. It will be the answer for the Aatrox top lane. I feel like suddenly the top lane matters, but still we are playing a composition with kind of a mid lane counter, and still with a lot of catch and teamfight utility, but still like a lot of single target burst damage on kind of both sides, right? So what is your read comparing those 10 champions to the last game? What are your thoughts here?
I feel like Permitta as well, like, buffed Foxnyr a bit, honestly, in this draft. Because as you can see, they banned Fresh, and I know Oregano, and he's like a fresh connoisseur.
Connoisseur.
You would say, exactly.
Yes.
But Nautilus is just 10 times the champion right now. And now because they banned Fresh, we got the Nautilus this time. So as a caster and biased caster for Foxnyr here, I'm not too sad about this, honestly, because this champion is just so strong. Overall.
Quick bounce in. Do you think the matchup matters against the Alistar at all there, or does it not matter?
No, I think that's the point. Like, the bot lane that has priority here will have the opportunity to destroy the whole map. You have a Vex mid lane against LeBlanc. You can be sure they will, or like if they play correctly, they will not be full life after the first 3 minutes. They will be both half-life, and basically whoever ganks or puts pressure on mid lane first will get that slight lead that can snowball hard for both sides, because if you're behind as LeBlanc once or as Vex, the matchup kind of gets really hard, and I feel like it's even worse for LeBlanc being behind in that regard. And as well, Maokai doesn't have full clear, Wukong doesn't have full clear. I'd like to see some action on that mid lane, and especially around those dragon fights or invades on the bot side. I don't think any lane can be ganked very easily by its own on the sides. Like ganking a Volibear early game as Maokai Aatrox is, I don't know, hard because Volibear is always fine. On the other hand, as well, Aatrox with the flash should be fine. Bot lane, maybe as Maokai, you can sneak a gank onto the Draven, but it's well not a secure kill. Getting that mid lane priority first would be the first goal for me, at least.
I see where you are heading, yeah. And one thing that is still on my mind, do you think we can still be as aggressive with the Wukong into the Maokai, or is this a much more like tame jungle matchup this time? Because I personally feel like it's much closer, like much more even this time. And I don't really know if I want to agree with putting the Volibear on the top lane instead of in the jungle again, just because it worked so well right now. What do you think?
The thing is, we have an Alistair bot lane, which is one of the champions that is probably the worst, actually, champion level 1. So it's really hard to get priority, but then again you have Aphelios, the champion with so much range level 1 that it's easy to get priority. I don't know if Foxnyr said let's not pick the Volibear and go for this in wait because we're not sure we'll get the bot lane priority. This is like a crucial factor for getting to this play. Or they just said, well, Volibear is so good into Aatrox, we want to play it.
Well, let's see what the top lane matchup looks like after a few minutes. Guys, we are jumping into the second game of today. It is Foxnyr on the red side this time. And it is, of course, Permitta Esports trying to get the win here against Foxnyr. That would be amazing for them, of course, but hey, no. Look at the shenanigans, of course. This may not look like much, but Poro can talk us through it, what just happened there with this ward.
I was just checking the rune setup, but if I saw it correctly, did they clear the ward as 3 or 4 people? I was not sure now.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if Draven was in range as well, but they waited until LeBlanc was in XP range.
Now you mean Vex, right? But yeah.
Yeah, LeBlanc's ward.
I see. The thing is, if you get the XP as bot laners, and you're only 2 persons, basically, then I know you reach level 2 1 minion earlier on the bot lane. But since now they shared it with the mid lane, it does not impact the bot lane if Draven as well took XP. If only Nautilus and Vex took XP, Nautilus will obviously still get one level, like the level earlier 1 minion. But what's for sure is that Vex will hit level 2 after the first wave.
And that is quite dangerous, right?
Yeah, this means that the Vex can try to get the push, as well trade some HP and catch the LeBlanc off guard, kill the E for example, hold on to that fear, get the level 2 and just get a really nice chunk by proccing Electrocute as well. And this is like something that can lose you or win you an entire laning phase in the early game.
Yep. So I looked at the XP real quick, and 3 members of Foxnyr do have the XP. So Left-On, Barcode, and Mr. Oregano got the XP there. Left-On also ran into range. So does that change anything, or do you still get the level up earlier on mid lane?
On the solo lanes, you still get it. On the bot lane, I think you don't. But yeah, again,
I see.
They changed it some while ago, so that bot laners do get it when you only share it with 1 person, basically. I don't know if it's enough if you share it with a 3rd one as well. I don't think so, though.
Well, looks like a perfect opportunity to find out in this game. That is something to keep our eyes on, of course.
And meanwhile, just so the chat knows as well, it seems like the Draven Left-On has some connection issues, and Foxnyr is working on fixing them. So therefore, we are in a quick pause right here.
Perfect stuff there. Of course, that's all we can do right now. Wait a little bit and hope they can fix it as quickly as possible. And until then, I think we can talk a little bit more in depth about some lane matchups here. Okay, first question of all. Do you like the aggressive jungle items? Because I think this means Dockery might go for this Blackfire Torch AP-ish Maokai build. And it got nerfed a couple times, and now like the items got like released and it got buffed like that again. And I don't really know where that stands right now.
I think it's really broken on Maokai, honestly. The red smite, I think you can go it as well, even if you go full tank. Because you just proc it so easily with your E's, and I don't think that this shield, like if you're going full tank, does this little shield really matter that much in the end? I think like it's nice to have, but it's not gonna save you in most scenarios.
I mean, I would always go blue, by the way, because you know, running at the enemies quicker is just so nice to then transition into your phase rush, or you know, getting into reach more easily for the stuff that you want to do. But yeah, of course, your E's they will slow a little bit more, right? Like just a little bit, because it's like capping and doesn't stack as well, I think. But as you said, it will deal a little bit more damage, right?
I was saying as well, like you could go the blue. I think that option is valid. At this point, I think it's just preference, honestly.
I see.
What I think is more important or more interesting is Wukong, though, because I don't know if you want to go red on Wukong. Maybe this is a new jungle meta I'm not aware of right now. That they changed something that the reds might just got very popular. For example, the green one, if you remember, used to be very good, and basically every champion went for it just because it gave you so much stats or like such a big shield. Wukong with red can be interesting, because he's not proccing it a lot with Zaplings, for example. But once he's in, having this extra slow can be nice.
I feel like if you are a champion that has no CC in your base kit, like Shyvana or Wukong, then it is kind of worth it. Because if you gank and you don't want to ult instantly every time, right? If you gank, you get a little slow on your enemies, and then, you know, you can just keep auto-attacking them, run after them, stuff like that. So, you know, why not take it? I feel like on other stuff, like on, I don't know, Sejuani that has a lot of CC, I think it's kind of because you're CCing a lot anyways, and a little bit of damage will not do too much. But again, it's also mostly preference, I think. I'm just a really big blue enjoyer, because, oh my god, mid lane. Nothing happening there, just flashing. Trading the flashes even. But yeah,
I don't know if you saw it, but as well, like the level 2 thing just worked.
Yeah.
Vex got the level 2, walked up, LeBlanc W'd away, and the Q flew, and she just got a really good trade, and is now in a very nice spot on the mid lane. But getting ganked by this Maokai early.
Yep, Maokai showing up in mid lane. So, Dockery decided to take all 3 jungle camps, then give your mid lane a quick breather, of course. I feel like it was needed though, right?
I think it was even like he should have flashed onto the Vex. A little, like I was looking at it, I think if he flashes on the Vex, and even if he trades 1-for-1, it's the only way that LeBlanc's lane here could have been safe. But to be honest, looking at the wave management, I think Vex just screwed it up herself a bit, honestly.
Interesting. Yeah, meanwhile on bot lane, a lot of action. I think it's not as action-packed anymore, because it's not a Blitzcrank that can always find the hooks, but let's be honest here, Blitzcrank is a bit hit or miss, and if you fall behind, then... I mean, he can always get a great comeback, but if you're behind, you really have to only hook certain squishy targets. If you hook in something tanky, it is just an auto-lose. And yeah, the only one with a hook right now is Mr. Oregano. He will pay with a little bit of his life, though, for hooking there. And yeah, with 2 tanks on bot lane, not too much happening in the early game, even if we do connect a hook here.
And mid lane is just perfectly even again now, because the Vex didn't crash the wave in time to get a free reset.
Oh no. Top lane! Yeah, goodbye.
So, there we have the first blow on the top lane. I thought he was fine by flashing out, but nope, no getting away from this Maokai. Once he has channeled his W, you're not stepping away anymore.
The Twisted Advance, I love that ability name, by the way, because that's literally what it is, you know. Twisted Advance, it's just a perfect ability name there.
Yeah, I heard that casters love this name, honestly.
Yeah, it's amazing. Twisted Advance is something that I could say like all day long. Like I can just say Twisted Advance like every 5 seconds and you know, have a lot of fun while doing it because Twisted Advance is a okay. I'll stop now. But you get the point.
Twisted Advance? Or
yeah. I will stop saying Twisted Advance now until Darkry decides to press W once more onto a champion and then maybe get another kill. By the way, dear Chesko, you said you might as well just go full tank. But Darkry, he has plans with his red jungle item because he went for the Fated Ashes already. This is of course like the new pre-burning item. But I'm talking about burning, Elias on top lane. This guy, it never stops. He gets like ganked, he dies, and then he still fights against Mahatma Dhani. And he looks solid while doing it. If he connects the Sky Splitter, it should still be alright, I think.
What's more scary is that Aatrox is going to hit 6 level soon, has a potential dive threat here, even without the level 6 already chunking the Volibear. If this Volibear dies here and loses this wave, his game is over. There's no recovery from that anymore.
Oh, that would be an absolute disaster, and Elias knows it, and that is why Qmaru is in the top side, but I'm not sure what to think about that situation. Because wait, when does he hit level 6? Can he hit level 6 on the wave? Okay, Sky Splitter is on cooldown now. That is important because that would have been his shield opportunity. It is so much happening on the map right now. The top lane dive looks scary. Darkry is going for the grobs. Elias, he wants to bait it here, and they are just trading the ults on top lane. And Kiyomaru knows, well, okay, top lane, not too much happening anymore. Both do not have ult. So, might as well just keep on jungling. Meanwhile, Darkry kind of sneaking away those grubs, I feel like. You could have just easily contested that.
Meanwhile... okay. You can hear me, right?
I can hear you. I can see the Ori statue. Never saw that before.
It's beautiful, right?
Yeah, it makes me wanna spend $500 on a skin. I don't know why.
No, not happening. At least not for me. I bought the other one though. That the 5,000 euros one. That's a nice one.
The how much?
The 5,000 RP one. Excuse me.
Okay, I was like, well, what? What is he talking about? Oh man. Okay, whenever I see somebody use this ult like that, I wanna take a look. It is 2 minutes on the Shadow Surge from Vex, and I don't really know what the ult was in mid lane, honestly. Was they worth it?
No. LeBlanc is completely destroying this Vex. At this point, like, he's 17 CS ahead. Even if Vex catches like 2 or 3 minutes here, he loses some XP. He doesn't have his ultimate anymore. LeBlanc goes back with a much better reset and will just be very lane dominant. The Vex counterpick is really not working out for me.
So, with that information in mind, what are we thinking about the LeBlanc first pick? Do you think it is not really good, but we didn't answer it properly? Or do you think there is no, like, amazing answer against it right now?
I think Vex is not a good champion right now. That's the first thing. And LeBlanc is a good champion. I don't know if I would first pick it though, because you can like pick other champs that are good into her. For example, Galio, which just completely neutralizes the LeBlanc. And then suddenly the LeBlanc can't do anything in the early game. Vex, on the other hand, is a skill matchup in my opinion.
Yeah, I see. And yeah, Barcode, it's looking kinda scary for him. The chain's connected and it dealt a lot of damage. Also on top lane, yeah, both solo lanes are struggling a little bit. Now Darkry with the roots on bot lane will connect. Now Left Hand probably just has to watch as his support will get sent back into spawn. And it is a 1.5k lead for Prime Permitta Esports.
It's so important that this Draven survived, by the way. Like, this 1.5k gold lead, it will all be gone if this Draven can cash in his 214 stacks, which he has by now, and just get ahead with 1 kill, basically.
Yeah, indeed, but man, mid lane and top lane, they are slowly bleeding out, kinda, and I feel like we need to do something. Yeah, we did trade the early objectives. That's like okay-ish, but we have to do something, right? And that's quite soon. Maybe Elias, if he hits the storm there. Oh, Darkin Blade though. He cannot ult. He did not get the extra HP. And Mahatma Dhani just getting the kill there and looking super strong on this top lane. No cash in with the Whirling Death unless, no, not happening. And this is not what I like to see at this point. Marco teleporting into mid lane, but already behind 15 CS, and that is, regarding if it's like cannons as well or not, it is almost a kill.
Yep, and if you look at the gold lead, 1.1k, that is only on the Aatrox. This will, yeah, the Aatrox will just completely destroy his Volibear on the side for a long time by now.
Oh, mid lane. We are trying something with the Shadow Search again, but it will not connect. Barcode, trying something. And I mean, you see, he's not clueless in the matchup, right? He knows how to play it, but Nitro also looking really good on his LeBlanc.
Yeah, but I don't like what he just did there, honestly. The Wukong was just leaving base, basically. So even though he forced the LeBlanc on a reset here, he couldn't really do anything with the priority. LeBlanc still had the TP, is now back on lane, and like Vex now still has to go for the recall, while everyone of his team basically wants to do something on the map. This can be scary. If this LeBlanc uses this window for a roam, for a gank bot lane, for a dive on the Draven, who we know has no flash, the game suddenly is pretty much not over, but in a really bad spot for Foxnyr Esports.
Maybe we can turn it around now. Qmaru on bot lane trying to find something. The Draven again not finding anything with the ult. We need to find the kill. We need to find the cash in. Meanwhile, top lane also fighting hard, but Elias not really standing any chance anymore. Has to flash out there. And also on bot lane, not much happening. Mahatma Dhani tries to chase, just somehow is proxying the wave even. That is so annoying, and we are still on 0 kills this game. That is really unlucky. Elias, he wants it on top and he uses the Stormbringer. Ult against no ult, but he will not be able to use the W again to heal back up. And in the mid lane, Barcode. Is he looking for something? He did not get the fear there. But he is poking so hard. Nitro has seen enough, wants to turn around and at least retaliate a little bit. But on bot lane, this is honestly, as you said it, Chesko, where our hopes and dreams for this game are still residing. We need this Draven cash in.
And we need it desperately. This Aatrox is sitting on 6k gold right now. Will finish a second item once he resets. Ouch!
I'm wondering. What are we buying? Maybe finishing boots as well, or just going for a second item. Mahatma Dhani also waiting. Bought the tunneler so far. And Draven even pinging it. He is on 300 adoration stacks. Now, I think item-wise, a tiny little misplay. I would have liked something else way more. Barcode in mid lane. He will just die. No chance to get this. Nitro looking so strong. But I want to talk about the top lane itemization real quick, because Mahatma Dhani decided to not build more damage and more stuff. He decided to build for the plated steel caps, aka Ninja Tubby, while Elias is mostly AP right now. Or do you think is this just to not get ganked by like Qmaru and die to him or something?
I mean, I see where he's coming from with the armor boots, because like the enemy team has a lot of auto attackers basically. Like Volibear still is auto attacking you a lot, the Draven for sure, and the Wukong as well. I think Mercs are better too though.
Yeah, right? Or just, I mean, you don't need it yet. You just want stuff that deals more damage, gives you more tankiness. And talking about dealing damage, Elias looking kinda dead to me. And this is a 4.5k gold lead, almost 5,000 gold. We did get the dragon though, and Is this a misplay from Permitta, giving away this dragon? I feel like they kind of want to close out this game and kind of want to take all the objectives for themselves now. Talking about objectives, the biggest one is still this cash in. Mr. Oregano trying to get a setup there, but it's not going to happen. It's simply not going to happen.
I don't really think it's a misplay because, like, you can say, okay, they could have fought for this dragon as well with the Aatrox move, but honestly, the only way they lose this game is if GerEng cashes in, and by saying, okay, we are like slow, we're not on tempo right now to contest this dragon, we could get cashed, it's not really a fight we are in control of right now. Let's just keep this Aatrox on top lane, let him push the side lanes, cash in more gold, get this bot lane tower, get the enemy jungle. We will fight the next dragon and it will still be free because we are so ahead.
I see. Yeah. Either way. Fix the timers real quick for you guys. Oh man, it's a rough one. Like honestly, Chesko, you know, taking a step back, do you think this is still winnable for us at all?
100%, yeah. I mean, it's League of Legends after all. Every game is winnable, right? And in this game, we have some tools as well that will just give us.
Top lane. This might be the way to come back. Ulting in. We got the shutdown on Aatrox, and that is huge. That means Barcode can buy a full item once we decide to go back into base. First death, and also the flash was burned from Mahatma Adani. So, yeah. The first light that shines onto Fenrir here in this match, honestly.
It's a bit sad that we didn't get it with the Dravenult, but yeah, this is like what we have to look for. We have a Vex, we have a Volibear, we have a Wukong with an Nautilus as well. We are strong in catches and abusing enemies' mistakes, so getting gold there will be the next step for Foxnyr Esports.
100%. Kiyomaru on a full item already. Barcode also got the same item, but not having the same component already. And the Needlessly Large Rod is a pretty good component, so still a little bit behind, but at least the full item is there, so the most important item is bought. Also, left turn looking kinda even item-wise, so I feel like the only big gap is on top lane right now, and I don't really know how much that matters so far.
I mean, it will eventually matter because Aatrox is unstoppable on the side lane. It really depends on how well Foxnyr as a team can answer that. Do they find those angles to go for these catches on Aatrox more, for example? Will we get the GerEng shutdown, like not shutdown but cash in? Suddenly, when GerEng cashes in, his what is it now? Last time I checked, it was like 300 something. Yeah, it's 460.
400 now. Barcode in a 1v1 with. Nitro, but never mind, Nitro disengages it.
And like if we get that cash in, then suddenly you can control the whole map because the Draven cannot be answered on the mid lane, right? And this will be the crucial part.
Well, I have to kinda disagree. Of course, I'm always thinking about a jungler's POV here, but I think against LeBlanc and Maokai, it is so hard to properly set up the vision on the like river bushes and stuff like that, so I feel like it's quite a dangerous task, even if Draven is ahead. If you just get a little bit of poke damage here and there from like a sapling or from a LeBlanc randomly jumping onto you, and you know, just giving a little quick combo. To be fair, left on he does have Bloodthirster, so he can heal back up. So yeah, I feel like if he gets to 2 items,
not only that, like they can go for the mid lane T1, like. If you look at the map for Foxnyr, the map is really close. They have not one single tower. So
oh, this might be huge. This might be a huge catch here. Mahatma Adani is all alone right now. He will get knocked up twice. No. Ah, I'm so sad. It was not enough to get the cash in. Can we get the cash in? He gets it. 900 gold, by the way. Draven cash in. Absolutely amazing. This was so important. And Chesko, I wanna press the X button now. I will do it. Look at the gold. We are almost even again, it feels like.
Yup, and we haven't taken any towers yet. Draven has now
Ouch.
completed. Oh.
Yep, that was the Vex. Will something happen though? We see a Darkry disengaging or engaging, whatever, with his ult. Again, guys, it's me. I always want to check the cooldown. Yeah, it's still 100 seconds. I feel like before level 11, it is always huge cooldowns, so it will not be up, but yeah, next objective is the Nash in 20 seconds. I don't think either team will just start that.
Yeah, I think like it's important that his Draven finishes. I think he's going for Infinity X second. If he finishes that, then this Nasher looks really fightable. But we have to note, Draven had to flash aggressively to get his cash in. Meanwhile, we have Maokai flash available, Alistair flash available, so still pretty a scary scenario to fight for this Draven, but a really nice boost in his economy.
For sure. And yeah, regarding how much Foxnyr were bleeding and just trying to stick somehow, like with one finger onto the surface that is this game. And again, I mean, don't get me wrong, right? It's still like 4,000, 5,000 gold. It is still a lead that is, you know, worth mentioning. But comparing it to before, they basically almost halved the lead. Or like the gold that they were behind, so of course we do take it.
Yeah, you have to think of it as well from another perspective. We have 2 drakes already secured for us, right? So the Dragon Soul is not really a threat at this point in the game, at least. We have a lot of time to scale, and now with those 2 items on Raven, the Nasher is contestable, so we don't have to give it up. We can look for a fighter, and it's a winnable fight as well.
Yeah, that is really important. It is a winnable fight, as you say it. If we just have to give it up, then that is terrible, of course. But looking at it through those lenses that the dear Chesco Pour with Cookie, aka Moon is Baby Earth, is wearing, it indeed looks winnable. But of course, it will require Nurse of Steel, it will require disciplined play, it will require almost no more mistakes. And it will, again, require, like, so much discipline. I know I mentioned this one, but if I just look at it at Maokai and LeBlanc, man, I would hate to be in those shoes. And yeah, see, that's the thing, exactly. You face check LeBlanc, and LeBlanc just half-lives you, and you can't do anything against it. And I hate this. Now Nasher. Can we maybe steal this one? Nope, will not happen. TP will get used by the bear here. TP also by the Aatrox, who will die first. Nitro, dangerously low, will get shot down by the Wukong. Now, Madani is in the backline though, will get the first one. And it is such a tough fight. It will not be won by Foxnyr. Mr. Oregano also dying. And this means it is the full ace. It was a genius TP by Madani, and we have to mention it, this guy is just so strong in this game.
And here you have the flash gap as well. So Aphelios able to flash away, not dying. Draven not having his flash up, Vex not having his, her flash up in this team fight. It was hard, it was winnable, but the execution in the end just too good from Permitta Esports. Using their Aatrox, who is like their strongest member right now, or as well like will be for most of part of this game as well, really well, and yeah, securing that Nasher and that million inhibitor for themselves.
And I praised Foxnyr. Look, they're only behind like 4,000 to 5,000 gold now, and now this fight happens. Nasher is down, is taken, a mid lane is cracked open, and well, if we look at the gold again, oh look, it's a 9,000 gold lead again. It is not over, as you beautifully said, Chesco. It is never over. It is League of Legends. Mistakes can happen. Comebacks can happen. But man, it is going to be one battle uphill to get back into this game. And yeah, did I mention already that I hate playing against the Fed LeBlanc? Did I mention it already? Because yeah, you just want to take your jungle, and then Nitro is like, oh hello, is that for me? Oh thank you, and he just leaves again. And, man, it feels so bad.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we don't even have to look at the gold like gap anymore, only because every member of Permitta.
Oh god, top lane. Something happening. Can we get a shutdown? Can we get something? The ADC is looking low. He's not dying though. The Phelios staying alive. And this was so close, but it was not close enough. Mr. Oregano also into the gray screen, and Nitro just jumping onto our ADC of choice, and he has to flash into the safety of the fountain. Now Elias trying something, trying to get the ADC, gets a 1000 gold shutdown, but he will pay with his life. And if we can hold this, then yeah, it might be worth it. But can we hold this? It is left on against 4 members. And of course against Nitro, that is so dangerous, deals so much damage. And Mahatma Dhani also just zoning him away instantly. Left on in the fountain will almost die. The minions are also slowly getting torn away though. And this is a hook, this is a respawn. This is another glimpse of hope for Foxnyr.
And now we're getting like, we used the Draven Flash, but we have the Vex Flash available again now. The enemy are late for this dragon. We find the catch on Aatrox here maybe. Wukong is already on his way.
Indeed, Mahatma Dhani has another World Ender though to get the movement speed. The hook could be crucial here. Barcode and Lefton, they are joining the fight. Mahatma Dhani healing for so much, but will die. The shutdown to another carry on our side. Barcode getting it. And man, I would love to find something there. Will Barcode reactivate? I'm not too sure. He will go for it. He will fear. He will try to go in there. He will not survive for long though. And this was maybe bitten off a bit too much. Elias here, no Stormbringer yet, but he can get the stun out. He can be the front line that we need. Kiyomaru getting rooted. Nitro looking and just watching as his team dies, because LeBlanc is dangerous but has cooldowns left. And I love that we get this dragon, by the way. We need those drakes. We cannot let them stack up. We get soul point for ourselves, and hey, also a little bit of Retchen that might just help against the... okay. I was just holding my breath for a second there. But yeah, I like the dragon. Now, what will happen in this fight? The clone gets targeted. Oh no, Mahatma Dhani TPing in, and this might be a crucial one. Left on, running away, no mana, no access, no nothing. Mr. Oregano just trying to buy time for his team. Kiyomaru and Barcode, they are in a safe position. But so important, we got the dragon at least, but we have really long death timers. We have 2 waves with super minions pushing in, and this looks like a tough one. Mahatma Dhani, the raid boss, no World Ender though. Barcode, can he get the fear out? Yes, he can. And this means with the Cyclone, with the knockups, it is another kill. What a scrappy game, man.
And honestly, the game is winnable, like really winnable at this point. Because you got those 2 inhibitors, just free farming right now. Dasher is like coming up in 1 minute, but it's not really the worst, because your inhib will respawn once the enemies are going to enter with the Nash buff into your base, right? And you got that dragon, you got a lot of gold on your carries. You can see the Raven now has 3 items finished. Of course, Aphelios is still like kind of scary. That's just how it is if the enemy team is 6k gold ahead, right? But suddenly, if a Nautilus hook connects onto an enemy, if you get a good catch, every fight is winnable.
Inhibitors slowly respawning as well. And man, Chesko, the first one, we were just bulldozing over Permitta. But the second game now, Permitta, they are putting up a fight, and what a fight they are showing us. What a game to watch, man. Absolute beautiful stuff here, and as you say it is still winnable, even though it still looks a bit grim, of course. But we are entering the moments in the game. We are hitting like the 30-minute mark. And you mentioned it, Poro. The item lead does not really matter too much anymore. And
as well, we closed in a bit on this lead that the enemies had, right?
Yeah, we did indeed. I mean, it's still the same gold lead, but if everybody has more gold, then it is less gold in, like, math, you know, quick math. Oh well, Elias, he's trying to find something here. The team is also trying to join using Stormbringer in a defensive manner to just jump away. I get the idea though, you do not want to give up all the inhibitors. That is kinda a big yikes if you lose them all. You only have 1 single turret left, and well, all the inhibs are down. This means double the super minions on every wave, and that is a hard one, of course, to defend. Nasher will not be... yeah, it will still be up for a while. Final fight might be happening just now. Nitro getting left on instantly. Kiyomura and Elia still fighting, but they have no more carries. Nitro looking good on this first pick, LeBlanc. And it did work out. I am surprised right now. But today's score for those two teams will be a 1-1 and it will be a draw for Permitta and Foxnyr Fenrir. GG, well played.
GG's indeed, an earned win for Permitta Esports, having the upper hand. Let's be honest, throughout the entire through the entire game here, especially on top lane. Mahatma Dani doing work on that Aatrox, looking really good. Even though we have to as well say Foxnyr tried to fight. I think they fought really nice. They were in a spot where it was really hard to do anything, and they still managed to get winning fights as well in the end.
Yeah, really well played by everybody today. Are you happy with the 1-1 score that we got here?
I mean, obviously, I would have preferred a 2-0 score for our boys from Foxnyr Esports. But I feel like a 1-1 seems fair, honestly, between these two teams. Looking at the performances that were pulled today, in game 1, I feel like we were a lot stronger, honestly. But seeing this Aatrox performance or this LeBlanc performance in this game, I have to give credit as well to them. Say, well, they played very nice. They found ways to impact the game in a creative way, I think, as well. And like especially on the LeBlanc, it was just nice to watch.
Absolutely amazingly said, yeah. Now, I will wait 1 or 2 more minutes for the feedback if they want an interview or not. But if they are not answering in a few minutes, then we will just take a break. And of course, Mr. Poto, will you also join me on the other 2 games? Or
at 17, right?
Yes.
I think I will, if I'm still welcome here.
Of course. So yeah, guys, no feedback for the interview so far. Oh, wait, he's writing. Oh, he's writing. Glaub schwierig. So, no interview. Guys, do not go too far away from your computers, because you just heard it. We will have a Poro with Cookie and me again. And if you thought this was hype already, Division 4 and stuff, what if we up it a little bit and have a look at main team's performance against Divisen in Division 3? That is what we will be looking at in like 50 to 40 minutes is when the stream will be back up again. So, see you then and there. Have a nice break. And see you in 40 minutes.